Hi, Maureen. So wonderful to see you here again. Why I'm saying again? Because we know each other for so many years, and every time I see you, my heart goes boom, 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 boom. Yes, to Arcturians, to Pleiadians. I'm very grateful for you being here. I'm very grateful for your presence on this show. Hello and
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you. And every time we connect, it's always, magical or or just a deep sharing that we both benefit from. And I'm just grateful to be able to share today again.
I'm very grateful to be here with you as well, and I'm very grateful that this moment in the quantum field, yes, as we connect with Pleiadians, with Arcturians, with mothers as well, yes, in the frequency of abundance, can be shared with our viewers. So welcome to the show, I Care podcast. Welcome to a new episode. Maureen, may I ask you, could you share with us how was for you coming out from the spiritual closet?
Oh, I feel for myself, I sort of had a slow rollout.
All right.
Yeah, in some ways I've done it. Maybe others wouldn't look at it in that way
Mm-hmm.
because within the first year, I think I went ahead and started a Facebook group for
Mm-hmm.
sharing of light language, which is
Mm-hmm.
how I, sort of had this sudden awakening, well, within like a month or so, and then I spontaneously started speaking light language. So when I started to discover what I was doing and how I was, what it was, and what I was learning, I decided to see if there were others out there that would also like to share space, and
Mm-hmm.
and that's how that began. So um, I find that I've been still um, to come out. I had to work through levels of this insecurity of how much I can share where, and I'm doing the dance now less than I ever did before. I call it the dance, but I have my main page and my private pages. And if anything, I'm thinking of, becoming more out there in this business page. So I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is that there were levels where I needed to work through what worthiness of sharing, not being so concerned about what people were thinking that may not understand what I'm presenting. Um, Clearing that whole voice chakra. It's been many stages of that. Understanding, and then I felt like I was sort of put into like a not hermit phase, but like 2 years even almost of I was learning and working with people of like-minded, a lot of other healers that I've made friends with, and doing work on myself and internal clearing, or people might call it shadow work. And in that time, I was still using my photography and my sharing of light language and that within my light language life group, but I was not doing that many. Occasionally, I would do a live show like this, but I still begin to feel more comfortable. And each time I just noticed that I'm in a different place of trust when I show up
Mm-hmm.
than I was learning as I was kind of going along and being invited to do these things, which has been a great gift for me. I don't know, am I answering the question? I
Yes,
think,
fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing this. And I just want to get back to this for the moment when you said that you had this rapid awakening. What was it for
Mhm.
you? Can you share it with us?
Well, um, I would say, just to kind of shorten it, it was like, so within my personal life, I had like some unexpected trauma, or, or shadow of ego and that within my marriage. And then when I am still married, I'll just say, but in that time, I was also beginning to do dog walking as a form of part-time work, and it put me into this space of lots of processing on my own in nature, well, with the animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I slowly started to be searching for questioning, all the questioning about what am I doing here, and and looking for answers. And I was listening to the news all the time, and then it shifted to wanting to listen to these spiritual talks by Eckhart Tolle, or
Oh,
just,
yeah.
I think it was where it began, and learning about mindfulness. And then I really realized how much chatter I had going on up here. Whereas now I can honestly say I'm often at a 0 point. I can, and it just, learning how to clear and pay attention to my thoughts and be in the heart. And so when I was doing that for probably a couple months, one day I was listening to a podcast, and they talked about you can be on a fast track
Mm-hmm.
of spiritual growth. You just can give intention to do so. Because I was thinking, I'm listening to these people and how they're working and sharing. It's like, this is what I'd love to do. I don't know how I would do it, but I would love it. And I was thinking this to myself. And I said, um, I tell this picture because I was on this beautiful walk with this dog, and I looked up at the sky and I saw this large cloud that looked like a big bearded man. And that's not how I really see source, but it
Mm-hmm.
was like I could not ignore that. And then after I took pictures and kept walking, I was thinking more about this, and I said, this is what I want. I asked specifically to God, to Source, I would like to be on the fast track, from where I was to
Yes.
becoming someone that can teach in this way or be connected through spiritual lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Please help me. Well, and then I sort of forgot about it, except for I felt more aligned within myself. And then maybe less than a month later, I was really doing regular meditations, building it was easy even from the first time for me to do like 15 minutes, and then I was like, wow, I could sit here for an hour. It just was something that, connecting with my energy, and that was not difficult for me. Well, one day I just was sitting in my chair, and I went very deep in consciousness, or high in consciousness, I would say. And then all of a sudden all this energy came through my body, and my hands started to really move, and I just started speaking light language, which I didn't know it was light language at the time. It just sounded to me like a Hawaiian language. And at this time, I didn't have, like, I just met a couple people that were doing some energy healing work, but I didn't have very many concepts of, having guides or collective assistance, or that I was a spiritual being with many lives. I believed in past lives, I think, but it just opened me up to finding out what it was that led me to a woman that was teaching from Australia. And then I got into a group that was called the Master's Journey there. And it just helped all this, like I would say, basic level understanding kept growing. And I met a huge network of friends. And that was like, I feel like Source just brought me to build my community for a couple of
Mm-hmm.
years.
Mm-hmm.
And through that, I did everything. My family, I have two kids that are young adults or a teenager, and they were not, they just didn't want to talk about it, but they didn't make me feel bad about myself. And then my husband, everyone was like, what is going on with mom? Kind of what, but I really tried to walk that line of, okay, I'm still working for the schools and being very involved in all my kids' activities and the momming of everything, and stuff. And then um it kind of evolved in the ways that this is, like my son says, well, this is just something that mom does, until recognizing that, hey, mom is actually working with clients now and assisting others. And that, but I'm still at the point where everyone is accepting and supportive of me, but they don't want to receive from me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sidetracking, but the point is that, so there's still levels of, like, I'm not going to force, like, I can give a long distance healing, but like my kids aren't comfortable with me doing that right to them. They're comfortable with hearing me work with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And then the husband's, he's supportive of me trying to establish my work, but he doesn't also want to receive. So it's like my fast track, was that the original question about how it happened? It's just like, I really feel like from family allowing me the space to do it, um, as well as myself having the courage to move through my fears and really feel into emotions and understand where so many things and learn about myself. This is how it developed, and I allowed spirit, I allowed source to teach me sort of.
Mhm.
And there's so many different levels of it, the letting go of all those lack programs. And, you know, I carried a lot of grief from various, loss of children and things through miscarriage, or it's all held in the body. And that's another thing I wasn't aware of. And there was just, when someone comes to the point on this journey, we all have so much that we go through, and it's all a little bit, to me, sometimes it's big amounts at fast, seems like a fast pace,
Mhm.
but it's kind of spread out, because then you get this lull and this nice expansive growth. And then there'll be something else that surfaces to work on. And the more we do it, it just becomes quicker and more like with ease, and there's less. Um, I just became more clear, like in my mind and body, and my able to be present. And that's what this year has been so much about for me, is not being within expectation and trying to. I used to always be sort of a planner person and trying to figure out what I was going to do even 2 weeks from now. And now I find it quite difficult to move even a day or so from where I am. Like,
Mhm.
um, so I'm covering a lot, but I think there's so much in that question.
Mhm.
And allowing people to see me differently and actually valuing myself. I noticed it taught me where I wasn't valuing myself, or where, um, how I could step forward more, and how I was holding back on my own gifts. And all of that took time and processing and allowing. And I still have that, we're always learning. But um, so when I hear, listen to others, I'm so deeply compassionate. I think that's another thing, is that it's taught me the many different ways that people learn from their own experiences, and how they can allow, through forgiveness and self-love, to really open up and understand that they can increase their light within and expand in ways they never thought they could, which has been true for me as well. And then also manifest, right? So, um, but mostly I'm so grateful in this process for these female relationships. Many, I have male relationship friends as well, but
Mhm.
mostly these divine feminine, just amazing women in my life, is just from all over the world, came to be, when I used to be someone that said, oh, I could never really have female relationships. They never work, at whatever it was. And now I t- I have daily nurture from friends in that way. And I'm so grateful for people like you. Yeah.
Oh, Maureen.
I feel emotion about that.
Oh,
Make us cry.
I knew we're gonna dive deep, yes, but I didn't expect this. I mean, my heart is as always full of love and compassion. I feel very deep compassion every time I am with you, and I feel you. I simply feel you, and I'm simply grateful for this moment.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm simply grateful for this moment. I know Maureen, as I said, for many years now, and she's a very kindred person. She's a very open-hearted person, but first of all, she is a magnificent channel of light. I know that we are talking lots of I am channel, I am channeling, I am creative, I am intuitive, I am this, I am that. But Maureen has this specific, if may I, Maureen. For
Yes,
me,
please.
my experience, yes, Maureen, like, it's the holiness, the when you see her, when you meet her, when you work with her, when you have this privilege to working with her, it's like you got the whole package. You simply got the whole package, yes. I don't know, have you heard this walk the walk or walk your talk? Yes,
Looks like,
yes, walk your talk. So Maureen is the example from my perspective, my humble opinion, walk the talk.
yeah. Oh, it's one of the best compliments I could ever get. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
At work, I feel so passionate. So that is like back in that day when I asked to be fast track, it was like, what? I never felt like I had passion for anything. I mean, there's things I did well, like customer service, whatever. I knew I could relate with people,
Yes.
but even now, so that's what 2018 to now, I've just have the steady daily, no matter how rough it got or how bright it, I have this passion and open-hearted desire to fine-tune my spiritual expansion, or just know that I'm on. It's not like I'm feeling like I'm not there yet. I'm understanding I am all that is now. And it's learning how to express that and to own it and to be appreciative in different ways, like that lotus flower. I keep being shown in my visions and things. Is like expansion, expansion, expansion. And it's like for me, that's like life blood right now. It's just what is drives me, but it also brings me back to this beautiful heart-centered presence with nature like I've never had before. I mean, I've always had it to some extent, even since childhood, but now it's like I love being every day a little bit at least outside barefoot. I have to, most people that know me know I'm very passionate about taking my nature photography. It's because something within whatever it is I see in that day, in that moment, in that flower, or expression, there's a light that captures that it's an energy, a frequency that is stands out. And sometimes it's the most micro of things, and sometimes it's a big picture. And isn't that, I just realized that's such a mirror for how our life flow is,
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you.
Everything is life. Yes, everything is life. Yes, I was thinking about it the other day. Life is everything. Yes, life is everything. It's the frequency. Yes. And it's funny what you said about the barefoot. Yes, you like to go to barefoot. Yes, since yesterday. Yes, before our talk today. Since yesterday, I was like, I'm going barefoot. I'm going barefoot. So I was, barefoot in my apartment. Yes, and it was very present on my consciousness. Yes, on my mind. Yes, barefoot. Yes, and I seriously enjoy it. Yes, so yeah, that's the miracle of the quantum connection. Yes.
Yeah.
Quantum is light. Quantum is the connection.
Yeah, and that's also the learned lessons that that everything is quantum, and I feel like I want to mention the phases of realizing those levels of judgment or polarity. It was like the whole couple years of going through, wow, this is a polarity sort of, even, I think I was coming from higher ground or whatever, and I would realize that, oh, I had kept judging things because of my mental programming or how I was brought up. And I thought I was so open-minded, and then the source, my guidance was showing me in many ways that, okay, there it is being presented to you. And it's like always looking now at things as being a mirror for myself, which isn't always easy. But I used to always project outward. If something happened, it's someone else's fault. That was when I was in my 20s, and that's just understanding. And now I'm much better, not always, but looking at, okay, I just got triggered, or and it's not even happening very much anymore. But if something suddenly triggers me to feel anger or fear or whatever, or grief, then I look at it within myself. Well, what is this really telling me? Oh, I'm fear of abandonment, or I feel like they don't feel I'm worthy for this, or whatever it is. And those were big lessons too. So, yeah, I'm sorry, I circled back.
No. It's thank you so very much. I mean, Maureen, thank you. I mean, your your life experience, yes, your spiritual ascension is a beautiful gift for us, yes. At least
Mhm.
for me, yes. I can learn from you. I can learn
Mhm.
from these little hints, yes. Uh, but I wonder, I know that you speak. I know that you speak. Yes, yeah, you have this beautiful gift of light language, which is channeling for me. I don't know if you agree with me.
I do.
Yes, yes.
You're aligned with that. We all have the ability to speak light language, but you have to have a certain, your heart open and within the flow of receiving and in the divine timing for one. And once it's there and you nurture it without restriction, for me, it's a flow, a connection that's always with me. And
Mm-hmm.
that is a channel for me. And it's like you're a vessel for more my soul source communication. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that and then also I've recently been doing a lot of I've developed through my awakening. I'll
Yes.
share that, I started doing spontaneous artwork that's guided. I'm at 0 point and we'll do that. And I haven't been doing it as much lately, and I'm gonna get back to that. But and then came the channel writing had different levels, and I just now a person, whether someone asks me a question and
Mm-hmm.
I can just, it's amazing what comes through. And I've just done that for friends really, but for myself. So then with myself, if I have a question or I just sit down and allow,
Yes.
all this will come through. And it's amazing. Sometimes I'll do 8 pages, and I've written even a little children's book that is still in development. But lately I started writing about how I'm channeling the collective of mothers. And I
Mm-hmm.
know from our conversations before, I have this awareness of like a Pleiadian mother aspect,
Mm-hmm.
or the grandma in Lemuria, and
Yes.
all these different experiences where the mother energy comes through. But now my writing and what I've experienced through my own verbal channel, I talk about the collective of mothers. And it's like the essence of every, even religion, belief system, and the divine mother aspects of all entities or energies, frequencies, and it's just pure unconditional love. And they say, and grace. And I'm like, wow, just say I'm receiving that. And it's like Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene,
Mm-hmm.
and just the frequency that comes through is something that I just, have been working with for a while, and starting to verbally channel at times.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, I just want to say something. I mean, you are incredible. You are absolutely, you're growing. I don't know when we had talked maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Yes, we
Yeah.
had this channeling a session together, or maybe more, maybe more. Yes, we need to do it again. Yes, the channeling
Yes.
session. Yes, I would love to if you agree with me. I would be
Yes.
honored. But you know what? What is coming? Yes, I mean the shift. Yes.
Hmm.
Uh, can you see yourself? Can you see yourself like a year ago? Yes, and now? Yes,
Hmm.
how you shifted? I mean, in the sense of consciousness. Yes, it's your consciousness
Hmm.
shift, or
Hmm.
simply you shifted your consciousness to this present moment,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And in this, as you are saying, you allow yourself to receive this abundance, yes, of coherence.
And I described it as, I feel it's I used to look at it as channeling or merging with aspects of myself. It's like more of my, I feel it, or and there's the talk of, our walk-in versus
Yes.
what am I doing? And now I'm feeling that through all my experiences that I'm holding greater amount of my own source essence
Yes.
within.
Yes.
Is how it was described to me through, I'm assuming, my writing, or I just got it through telepathy. But that really worked for me. Like for that, I was trying to really go, okay, if I'm a walk-in, you know, I was trying to get myself to, well, really present what is that, you know, because, what, as listeners will not follow here is that, just a slight recap is that I had amazing QHT sessions with Alexandra, and an incredible session where I actually said goodbye almost to my soul in that point, and was merging, and Yeshua was there, and it's just like I felt like I actually left past almost, and said goodbye and allowed that this other higher version, or I don't know, higher, what it was, a greater light, love into myself. Whereas I said goodbye to Maureen, but yet I'm still Maureen. It's hard. It's so hard for my mind to verbalize, but I know it was just the most amazing love and beauty within that experience. And I'm like, know that something very significant happened for me in that now moment as well, right? As well as other significant times. Whereas I am now more presence of source than I ever was before. Or it's hard for me to verbalize it. But I don't know. What do you say about that experience?
I am shocked. Let's say that I am shocked that you are talking about it, because I remember a few months ago, yes, you
Yeah,
didn't
I don't.
want to
Well, I
talk
went
about
about
it, and
words
it's so
about it, and I still don't. I don't know.
um, is it okay to talk about it? I mean, is it
Yeah, I
okay?
think. Yeah, I feel I'm out there enough as it is, that it
Mm,
is something I haven't shared really with, well, just a few friends, because it's
yeah,
still something, even though when was it, a year or more ago,
yes,
but it's something I'm processing myself. I wanted to be able to express about it, and I guess this is the timing where I gave it a go. I don't think I was that clear. It's so hard. It's almost like a near-death experience might be described,
yeah.
because of all the light and the things that I experienced in that moment. And you were there to help guide me back, um, or through and back, you might say.
Mhm.
But and you may even remember a whole lot more than I do,
I'm
because
not sure if I remember. I remember I was
right.
crying.
Oh, yeah,
I was
I
full
don't
of tears, full of
remember
sorrow,
very well.
compassion. Yes,
Yeah.
that I felt you. So how I remember is I didn't want to let you go through this process. Yes, I mean, I did it before. Yes, as a
Mhm.
walk-in.
Mhm.
So I knew deep in my heart, I knew it's not easy, and I knew it's gonna be painful. I knew it's gonna be grief. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
like never before. Yeah.
yeah, like never before, like
Session,
because you
just
are
like
losing yourself, because you are
Mhm.
totally losing yourself in this new
Mhm.
situation, and it's the panic. It's the panic. It's, I mean, many forms of emotions and spirituality and beliefs and everything. Everything is happening in this one, let's say, quantum moment, and that was our session. Yes,
Mhm.
and I felt amount of love for you. um, I wouldn't dare to say unconditional love, but it was the compassion that I
Yeah.
felt for you in during the session. Yes.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah, I really felt safe, and all I knew is it was something that I was just moving through. I knew something was going to happen. I could feel it, and then,
yes,
everything I have control, and
you didn't
I'm not
know.
out of control, but I was allowing I just opened up to this huge light experience, and I didn't believe it. Was like I knew the reason I started crying in that moment was I knew I was saying goodbye to
Yeah.
someone I dearly love.
That's it.
Yeah,
Because
that was it. And then it was like gushing, like, and I'm like, then it wasn't I like, wait a minute, it's me. I'm saying goodbye to me, to my source. I'm making this conscious choice of this merger with the light or something. And I felt it was Mary,
Mhm.
Yeshua was there, and so it wasn't even, and myself, it was this experience in the quantum where the Maureen was here and I was embodied, and I'm always able to speak, like my consciousness was still here, like I knew what was going on at all times. I think, um, I could hear Alexandra. It's just neat to take this opportunity to try to explain how this beauty happens, because through the quantum session you were able to just access like all, well, what all the, it is quantum, so all the levels
Mhm.
that we are ready to receive.
Mhm.
And but that was, I've had hypnosis before, being with you in that day, and even other sessions with you, but and also with others, and they were all very uh each incredible experiences, and my light language would flow and all this, but this one session was so different. It was like my moment of ego exit, or
Mhm.
that aspect of self stepped aside.
Mhm.
And I still very much feel like I'm Maureen, but it's very different. It's hard to explain. And I know that uh, my physical, my patterns, my understanding have been releasing or reframing through these last couple of the years or so since this has happened, to allow me to be in more presence, more understanding for a greater soul light to come in.
Mhm.
I know I'm probably repeating myself. It's very difficult for me to figure out how to put it in words. So yeah. Mhm.
And you are not the only one. And you are not the only
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
You are not the only one.
And that's the thing is Alexandra, because of her experiences, and that is one reason we connected,
Mhm.
is that I really felt her as someone that would understand
Mhm.
the journey. Well, I was just drawn to her light and everything that she was presenting, but then we became close friends from pretty quickly, and just felt like we've been assisting you maybe more, the journey, to have someone that has also gone through
Yeah.
the letting go of self. And yeah.
Ah, and I feel it. I was listening to Cryon yesterday, and I was like almost falling asleep. Yes, like when you listen to Cryon, yes, and it's like, yes, fall asleep. Um, and then in just like a moment, I was like fully awake, yes, and
Mhm.
he started talking about death, yes, about death. Yes, you are going home, yes, and
Mhm.
Cryon, yes, fulfilling message. And I was wondering why they awake me, my dears Arcturianous, why did they awake me to this particular moment in this section of Cryon channeling? What was the purpose? Yes, now we are talking, now I know a little bit. We are talking about the near-death experience, yes.
Mhm.
We are talking about walk-ins. We are talking about quantum, and we are talking about life. Yes,
Mhm.
I mean, even if we talk about it, because we are talking about death experience. Yes, if we in this sense, just a short. That's insane. Okay, it's insane,
Mhm.
right? If I can hear us, yes. I can hear, if I can hear our conversation, yes, that, okay, there was a quantum session, quantum hypnosis session, yes, Arcturian quantum hypnosis session. And the soul consciously, yes, consciously say goodbye to you, yes. And then we were crying, both we were crying because we knew it's painful and emotional and everything. So the body received the upgrade, let's say, yes, to a new level of consciousness. The soul was gone. It was very similar in my experience with walk-in, right, with Marta, the first one. And then you have, and that's the beauty, and that's what Cryon was describing as well, that the collective, as you said, yes, or the family, the light, right? Mary was with you, and Yeshua was with you. It was very similar with me, yeah, back then. So to make it short, we move beyond death in this QHET session, yes? We moved beyond death, yes? Consciously, yes? We were aware, we were talking, we had this conversation, yes? And the transition, not from the body to the body or astral or metaphysical, it was pure science, yes? That would Cryon or the magnetic master, yes? Or, you know, Yeshua, they are talking about it, yes? That it is possible, yes? Soul is immortal, soul is light, and you experience it, yes. And after this healing, yes,
yeah, it took me.
You receive the upgrade. You receive the upgrade, and you receive the upgraded source, as you says, yes, the upgraded self coming to your body, and you took a deep breath in, right?
Yeah, deep.
Very, 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 very deep. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Like entered my whole body. I remember that. Yeah.
the old was gone. The old was gone. Whatever happened, happened. And we were presented, to my surprise, yes, because I didn't, you know, that's the beauty about quantum hypnosis sessions, is that I didn't know, I never know, you know, what's gonna happen. Yes, it's just a flow of unconditional love and practice, of course. But then the Maureen, the mother came. Yes, they didn't want to tell us. Yes, even if I asked, who are you? And yes, it was the beginning stage, the beginner stage. Yes,
it felt like mother love, like never experienced for me before.
Yes.
Like I had the sense that I was channeling before and connected to Mother Mary, or Mary Magdalene, and that, and but this was different. It was just like, whoa, so just intense presence within at that moment. Yeah.
Yes, Arcturianous. You know, a few days ago, I received a message. That's it. Yes. And I started crying. Yes. I knew it's a transformation. I knew I'm updating myself. I knew, but still, yes, it's the comfort that I'm okay, but I left my body a few days ago again. Yes, pretty normal. You know, for those who know me, they know it's pretty normal to leave my body. Yes, and my body just stopped breathing for a moment, and this quantum second, I am transforming the consciousness into another level. Yes, and the next morning I woke up, and I couldn't recognize myself again. I was very, very man focused. I mean, I wouldn't say masculine, but more masculine. I was very much balanced. Yes, like I knew, like a manager. Yes, I was in a manager mode, and I was like observing myself, and it's new me. Yes, and Arcturianous was like, shh, it's okay, it's me, but from different consciousness. Yes, so for me, that's the unconditional love. Yes, I don't see Arcturianous or myself in separation. I see it as a light. Yes, as a light consciousness. Yes, living the life here. Yes, here and
That's
now,
what
but in
this.
upgraded consciousness, in upgraded living, in upgraded, also upgraded perspective. But again, I have to go through the pain, through the sorrow, through the memories in the body, yes, to clear the DNA, not for someone else, yes, for me, yes, to take a deep breath again, yes, and move forward, yes. So it is difficult. We are talking about ascension, we are talking about channelings and everything, that everything just flows and we represent to the world this beauty of Arcturians, beauty of Pleiadians, beauty of mothers, yes. But it really take self-consciousness, self-awareness, the work, right, which we are putting, the investment, yes, someone would say, in ourselves. Do you agree?
Yeah, and I really feel like my living situation where how I'm in this space of I haven't been, let's say, working as what people would say a 9 to 5 at all job for a while, and I'm very supported by my husband right now,
Yes.
and in that space of figuring out. But now it's been another year, and but I so needed, like, even with relationship changes and stuff, had I moved or changed where I live, all that would have been greater distraction.
Mhm.
Everything's really peaceful and cohesive in my space right now.
Mhm.
And I have this sanctuary of the backyard living space and that, because from day to day, when you choose a spiritual journey or this happens to one,
Yes.
there's so many. It's not like I'm really up and down emotionally. I'm pretty even with my family, right? But
Mhm.
internally, some days I need to sleep so much more
Yes.
than other days. And like yesterday, I told you that um I wasn't sure why, but I knew I was feeling like I was saying goodbye again, and that I was
Yes.
way more out of my body when I woke up, and I
Mhm.
was kind of working at being grounded, and I was feeling this undercurrent of grief that I never really pinpointed what it was. There was nothing in my outer reality to explain. And now you learn how to um, let things flow and not control or have to learn everything about it, but you're with it,
Mhm.
and looking at core reasons. But why am I sharing this? Because I'm just saying it is like that was one day of our experience, and you look like any different day can be a whole lot of emotional or physical
Yes.
balancing and work, trying to, what are we doing, release, at least for my body. I'm still balancing a lot of, like, you know, I've moved through a lot of health stuff where I feel pretty healthy, but I'm still
Mhm.
trying to work my metabolism out and all that,
Mhm.
and be strong again. And it's like the more light I bring in, the more my body needs to heal.
Mhm.
It doesn't love the things that are going on. I feel like, so that creates a whole lot of physical things coming on, and having like skin eruption, just I feel this happens, yes, normally in people's day to day, they'll have different health concerns. But when you're integrating greater light or greater amount of your own soul, there's so many fine levels to the
Yes.
experience experience that until someone goes through it, it's difficult to express the subtleties. It's like there's lots of hours where, okay, I know I'll find within my day I'm still doing a lot of my usual routines and getting kids where they need to go and all this balancing that an adult does. But then I need the time where I am journaling or I am having the time for meditation or expressing, trying to just allow the channel to come through. And I find that within my own life experience, this happened even when I first started with light language. If I'm alone in the car, a lot is going on while I'm driving. And that probably isn't a comfort to any people on the road, but I'm very present with my driving. But it's like I'll get downloads. Anytime I'm left alone, if everyone goes out of the house, then boom, things are happening. And it's not in a scary way, and I enjoy it, but I'm kind of always in it. And sometimes I do allow just the quietness to just be, and then I don't know about you, but I get in the space of, okay, is there something wrong now? Because I'm used to so much input.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened this year too. So there was more of another lesson, like it's okay to just be. And I find that that doesn't last very long, So
Yes.
I think I'm a little bit all over the place, but that's what the experience is.
Yes.
I think being human and trying in the portal of both the light and anchoring to this
Yes.
realm. There is so much others would say too, is to balance. And then the same point, it's like I wouldn't give it up for anything. It's the most beautiful journey. And I would never want to go back to, I didn't think I had it bad before, and I thought I was fairly enlightened before all this happened.
Yes.
But there's a lot of times where there's physical pain and gut wrenching emotion. Yes. So, and then I've seen lots of relationships around my immediate circle just transform, but also through that transformation to ease, there was the not so, the bumpy road and things that needed, but how you open up to taking that responsibility of your own feelings in and understanding another person's sharing and reflection is where they're at. This is how, I mean, it's just been, I could really start to see my roles and things, and that was in the earlier years, but that is another gift that it just has transformed so many different relationships in my life. And I wouldn't say that I would, at that time, I would think, oh, everybody, I'm good with everyone in my family. I'm, this, but I mean, there were so many layers to that too, to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I hear that from many people, my friends that have been doing the spiritual work, you might say the working within. They see these beautiful transformations within their relationships with others.
May I ask you a very personal question? Just
I think
may
we
I
got
ask you, does uh does the walk in, it's not an experience, it's life. Does the walk in symbiotic for human understanding, let's say, transformation, does change anything? How you perceive it now?
Well, it didn't like it changed mostly how I perceive and my essence of concept of how my own light in my, let's say, aura or that can assist others just by being. And I hope that doesn't sound egoic. It's like the
Mm,
sense of not so much that my day to day needs to blow up and change. It's that this is the light, need not be anything else but the light.
I love it.
And through that, when we enter it into our system, into our body in that way, and then become, for me, it was like, I remember when I felt my heart chakra just, it sounded like rip open, but I'm here like it was a stretching for like a week or two.
Yes.
And I was, wow. And then I'm opening up to some people, I call it the higher heart, but the heart
Mm.
expansion.
Higher heart, yes.
And now it's because I've moved. Yes, I still can think rationally, although it's much different. Most everything
Mm-hmm.
for me comes from my heart space.
Mm-hmm.
When you move into the heart space, that's what that light allowed me to do. I
Mm-hmm.
think I was getting there anyway, but that's a tricky question. The question, I'm trying to remember your question. That's another thing, is I have very short-term I don't have a very so I don't I think that I would have thought, well, wow, if this happened to someone, they would immediately not be able to function or do, I don't know that my kids or people see, like, I'm easier going for sure. I don't have polarity of emotion, hardly what I used to.
Yes.
That's going through, like menopause and everything. It was rough, but my family would probably say I'm much more even keel. But other than that, I haven't changed. I mean, I've expanded so much, like behind the scenes, sort of like online, and how I work with, it's just like my connections with others has grown. But I haven't had an experience where my neighborhood, anyone in my neighborhood is treating me differently, or I mean, there's people that are definitely less present in my life. Don't get me wrong. People tend to go,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't actually been out there. This was the first year that I put out on my name page that I speak light language, even, and so that's when I said a slow rollout.
Yes.
That could be another reason why I didn't have a huge change. But I also, the significant changes that I've had a couple offers to go back into like mainstream jobs, and I think, well, I mean, I need money for myself. But when it comes down to, I feel there's just such a pull that, no, I need to do this. This is all I can do, whatever this is, and how I need to allow it to develop and show. Because if I had to, I know that I would be holding the light and interacting with those meant to in that space of work. But really, I just feel like I don't fit in that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, or maybe I just know a difference of freedom level, and I don't want to fit in that way. But oh, it's confusing. It's just like, I would think by now I would have more of the financial prosperity part worked out than I do. So there's lessons for me there. But now, had I not had this arrangement with my husband, and that for me to develop and slowly be kind of more comfortably work, I probably would be working a regular job in some way and trying to do things on my own in the evening. And that's perfectly probable. But I just my Maureen experience is requiring a lot of presence and not a lot of outside stimulation. I can go and spend all days with family and doing fun things and having that, but then like the next day I need like a whole day to regroup and center. Mm. So again, I think
Um,
it's different for everyone, how it changed, because it changed things for you a lot too, I assume.
yes.
Mhm.
Changed my life. It
Mhm.
changed my life, but there is no but. Yes, but changed my, as you said, changed my perspective.
Mhm.
But also when you were saying when you were talking about your experience as walk-in, yes, in this moment, yes. What came to me is I choose a little bit different, right? I choose a little bit different. I go more multidimensional now than I did before. Like 2 or 3 years ago, I was in one stream. Yes. Now I am more like a spectrum. I discover more possibilities, let's say. Yes, through Arcturianous. I call it Arcturianous connections. Yes, like New Earth Arcturianous connections. Yes, bring it on, bring it on. And it's not always pleasant because the frequency is extremely high, yes, beyond us, as they call it, beyond the system, yes. So for me,
You're more used, like I'll be like ninth dimension or 12,
yeah,
and for me to keep my eyes open for very long in that space, I'll come back and I'll be doing work. It's so certain I was helping someone and I was working with really high consciousness. I tend to fall asleep and I'll wake up and be right awake and it'll last like 10, maybe 5 minutes. And then I would get sleepy again. I'm like, oh, this channel writing took a long time because I was having a hard time meeting that level of energy. Yeah, I can understand. You probably, just the acclamation that you have is amazing.
yes, but it's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun, yes, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's adventure. It's
Yes.
multi-dimensional for me. For me personally, it's a and for Arcturianus, it's fun as well. It's the Arcturian adventure of the lifetime. Yes, it's beyond self-discovery. Yes, I like, as you said, the leveling. Yes, so the leveling up is constant leveling up, leveling up, and in this sense, the contact. Yes, bringing the consciousness of the contact with ET. Yes, is like my main goal, may I say, for this moment. Surprisingly, many people are still afraid of Arcturian or invasion or things like that. Yes, and I can't believe it, but it's happening. Yes, I still don't have to believe it. Yes, it's beyond my belief systems, so I don't have to believe it. And so yeah, the extraterrestrial life, and as I said to our friend the other day, if you are talking about extraterrestrial, you're looking at what? Yes, I'm extraterrestrial, right? That's how I see it, how I pursue the life around. Yes, we all have different experiences. Yes, and the awakening. I don't know if you agree with me. Awakening is to awakening not to the outside world, because the outside world is the war, is the house, is this or is that. Yes, you can put a name on it. Yes, but awakening is to yourself. Yes, if I can wish for something, it would be I wish peace to the world, but through me. Yes, I want
Yeah,
to love for
definitely.
I want to love for the world, but from me. It's not like the outside source. Yes, and it took me, wow, training, let's say training, academy, mastery with Arcturianous, with Cryon, with mainly Arcturianous and Cryon, to get me to this point, to focus on my life, to focus on my life, focus on my life. Is what is important for me, what is curious for me, what is the wonder for me, and I stopped channeling. Yes, I resign from many dimensions. Yes, again, to get back to myself, to be with Arcturianus, to be the self. Yes, a source, you say, yes, the consciousness. Yes.
That's what I've done that on certain levels
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it's important, I believe.
Um, the go within was like, well, I'm able to connect in all these,
Yes,
different ways. But now, yeah, then it was for me, it was that whole coming back to just source, just as source. Well, what is that? But then within that space, the collective of mothers is here.
Yeah.
and whatever that is within me. But then it was, yeah, so this was like I had to go through those. It was like there's different levels of
Mm-hmm.
expansion, and I can learn that too from seeing your and you hear you speak.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I could see maybe it's not exactly on the same level, but what I had the similar experience. And then all this year, getting me to come back to trusting Maureen, to going within, because to me, even with all that had going on, maybe not in the years before, was like it seemed boring, or I'm not quite able to, I'll still say, access like this flow of information that some people
Mm-hmm.
can just, go with,
Yes.
like I know this or this is happening. And then now it's like I was very much at that some points interested in these predictions or things that might happen and might be
Mm-hmm.
seeing that. And now I'm realizing it's this point of no, the magic happens within the now,
Mm-hmm.
which I had heard before, but it was like I can't, I've really been brought back into not moving forward in time at all if I can help. And then there's certain things like, oh, I'm going to go on a trip, so I'm planning a little bit, but for that or something. But it's not, it's almost like my mind, what's there, it's hard for me to do that. It's also not that easy for me to go back and back
Mm-hmm.
anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I have no desire, but even if
Same,
I mean,
same with me. Same with
I
me.
can get a memory, but I can't, even, people think, question what's going on with my mind because I will have very quick memory loss. So, it's not easy for me to, I don't know, just the mundane little things. It just like moves out. And then, so then I'll start to question it or something. But I really feel like it has to do with where I'm energetically
Yes.
at.
Yes.
And, we've, you're sharing, yeah, it's like you're more of your true, what's it, our divine source aspect, or yourself, without like tapping into the other collectives as well or something.
I stopped tapping into.
Yeah.
Tap it when I don't remember. Yes.
Yeah.
But I stopped tapping into except Arcturianous and Cryon.
Mm-hmm.
Those are um, those are energies who I work with. Yes. And if
Mm-hmm.
necessary, for the purpose of channeling, the purpose of understanding who I am, yes, or for the collective, as you were saying, yes, um, for my own adventure of lifetime, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say live quantum, and that's my live quantum, right? Definition that I'm never alone. Yes, I'm a single. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's not a proposal. Don't get me wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but I never feel bored. Yes, sometimes
Right.
I feel bored with my work. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
or something. Yes, but repetitively. Yes, but I'm never alone. Yes, like
Oh, and when you started, you
many,
talked about more
many,
mass.
yes, many beautiful lights. Oh, lights. I call it
Yeah.
lights. Yes, beingnesses. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
uh, they invite me to themselves. Yes, like
Mm-hmm.
they are presenting themselves. Yes, in different forms, in different shapes. Yes, they are presenting themselves to me, and that's how I learn about the multidimensional living on Earth. That's how I learn about ETs. Yes, we call it ETs, extraterrestrials. I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about different races. Yes, so like
Mm-hmm.
every day or every month, as you said, that when I don't work on something or I have the moment for myself, right? I just, wow, that's new. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's new. I can see uh, the shifting energies or shifting consciousnesses, yes, which is modern. Yes, but we are not talking about me today, we are talking about you.
But I mean, it sense like, so with that, I sense the different energies come present for me, like, and I feel like so much in my physical, like it's a sense of feeling, but
Yeah.
I'm not seeing with vision that off, you know,
Mhm.
others. And then I will have different communication, well, like message
Mhm.
occasionally, but it's quieted down a lot from what I used to have
Yes.
because of the way that I'm focusing within.
Yes.
So I really pay attention when I noticed even as I laid in bed this morning, now I can't remember exactly what was being said, but it's like this, it's a whole stream, like it's a whole like paragraph of information
Mhm.
flowing in. It's nothing that I tried to think or put energy into, or
Mhm.
I'm just having some random thought or memory. It's like a beautiful, you know, thing being said to me just flows, and then I'll listen and into it, the energy around it, and where is it coming from? Like, yeah, I'm open to hear that.
Yeah.
And it's like that's kind of at a new level for me as far as it
Mhm.
happens a lot more frequently now. But
No one.
see, to
Yeah.
tell you what I heard, I couldn't tell you right this second. I couldn't. But
You know, when you were talking, what it reminds me, it brings this moment for me, as I mentioned before about my transition, the walk-in transition the other day. Yes, I was listening to Arcturianous channeling, to the meditation, very deep meditation, Arcturian meditation, which I constantly do in the evening. Yes, to get to the essence of my body, of my beingness. Um, and you know what happened? I don't. When you have the picture of the quantum field, yes, um, like the layers, yes, the layers, but in the spectrum, like the lines, yes, like you have the yes, lines, yes, and like going nowhere, but in front of you, yes,
mhm,
um, lines, yes. I'm not very much precise, yeah. I have this picture in front of me. Anyway, I was listening to this meditation. I was like aware that the intensity, yes. I was in my bed, lying on the side, yes. I felt the intensity of the energy, yes, coming
mhm,
through me, yes. It wasn't a message. I wasn't like, they didn't tell me it's gonna happen, right?
mhm,
They didn't tell
mhm,
me. I just asked for the shift, right? Before the meditation, I asked for the shift for myself. And when I was going through the screen, like a screening, right? I saw this multidimensional screening, yes,
mhm,
going through the whole body of mine, yes,
mhm,
and then I died. Like the body died, the physical body of Alexandra, the previous version, yes, just
mhm,
disappeared, right?
mhm,
And it was so intense. I was like stiff, like maybe it's not a good word, but I couldn't move, yes. It was just
had that experience before.
like,
Yeah.
wow.
Mhm, mhm,
I can laugh now, but it wasn't, there was nothing to laughing, yes. But I was
mhm,
calm. I knew I'm fine, yes. And then I like relaxed. It was like moving, yes, the paradigms and shifting, and the
mhm,
energy was moving very fast, very fast, forwarding, yes. I was moving into the great unknown as always, yes.
mhm.
And
Yeah.
then it
Feel
was
it
more,
like as
it
you're
was,
talking, you're feeling this huge heart expansion again.
oh really?
Like, well, just like a strut. Well, at least there's a lot of energy.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was
feel
like this. It was like
on the
big
energy itself. Yeah.
screening, yes, but I didn't
Mhm,
exist. I didn't exist as the body
mhm,
is. And then after this intense, very deep, very intense experience, yes, which was an experience, it was life. right?
Mhm.
It was me. The energy shifted in this form of very gentle, very softness, yes, and I call it unconditional love, yes. And I knew that Arcturianous is here, and Arcturian, the light being, which my twin, yes, is here with me. And I fall asleep. Yeah.
Mhm.
And as I said, next morning I woke up, you're like, I'm completely different. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. Like, okay, I don't have to do this. Yes.
Mhm.
So that was my experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, very intense.
In my own experience, I've had like elements of these things happen
Mm,
where it's like, wow, I wonder. I mean, I don't think it was to that extent, but there was shit where, yeah, I felt the energy will just move right through me, and
mhm.
then I'll be able to just, and I
Yes,
won't feel like I can move, and then I know I'm getting like this huge upgrade or something,
yes,
and then I do sleep a lot afterwards, and then I do feel different afterwards,
yes.
and um. I feel like you're doing it on like a bigger level, but that
Yeah,
I've had these sensations and
yes.
um so for some reason my mind's going back to the whole QHT session that I had with you when everything happened. But I think there was a time where my body too was like kind of
Mm-hmm.
just shaking everywhere.
Shaking, yes.
Yeah, I was shaking really incredibly these
Cold,
few.
very cold, yes, very cold. You can't move, very cold. Uh, uh, and then the heat is coming, yes. Afterward is
Yeah,
the heat,
and then
yes. So you
heat
got
comes in
sweating,
again.
yeah,
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And so on that was really intense. And then on other levels with oftentimes it'll be happening to me in the early morning hour when I wake up. It's not what like feels like every 4 months or it's not that regimented, but
yes,
I have these, it's happened more than 5 times where I've had similar energetic experiences. And I've heard others talk about it in some ways. Um, one or two other people have mentioned this sort
mm-hmm.
of experience. And so I think it's how we, like you say, up level within the physical,
Mm-hmm.
and the body has to adjust. And then I don't know about you, but then oftentimes I'll have health things come up
Yes,
where I'm working through that whatever can't be held anymore.
mm-hmm.
And it's annoying. So, but
Yes,
I mean, in the end, I always end up like I went through a tons of 3 months of testing this and that, all these issues. And then I come out with basically the medical world would say, "Oh, you're totally fine."
yes,
I was like, "Oh my God." So now I'm learning to trust more. And now it's just like things with my skin, but it's like, okay, well, I've had my heart totally looked at and all these things, and there's no damage and it's all in good shape. So now I can just, I guess I'll just allow a little bit better.
relax, relax, yes. But it's very, very good that you did the check, yes, that you care for yourself, yes, that you did the
Well, it
check
felt
and
like a
everything.
heart attack for me, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
things that were happening, and it was ongoing chest pain and things,
Mm-hmm.
and all I can say, well, it could have been inflammation, but I know that my body, I think I had like a significant another upgrade, not in the late winter, February something, and
Mm-hmm.
then I went through all these things, and my Maureen self of human form, I was used to going. I want to check everything. I'm going to use all my resources.
Mm-hmm.
I did light language for myself, or I did healings, but things won't happen for me quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is always a patient. And so then I went and I get help. Well, one time it was like an emergency, wasn't sure what was happening, and they even that everyone wanted me to go to the ER. Well, all I ended up with was lots of bills and tons of tests, and now I have peace of mind. But of that through the ultrasounds and all this stuff that's working okay, but
Mm-hmm.
my logical mind being like I could really have done without all that and all the extra bill and
Yeah, I
why
know.
did I have to go that route? But I think to teach myself self-trust in the physical, or allow, and I guess I did need to, I needed to go through that. So does this, like, it affects, like, I don't think anyone would say, oh, that sounds easy breezy, as I say, but there's definitely, I mean, we don't talk about it that much, but there's definitely those days where it takes a lot.
Courage. It takes courage
Courage.
and bravery, right? Courage and bravery, right? To do so.
Because of the wonderful feeling on the other side of everything is why I don't know. It's just like it always is. Even going through the pain of it, I can feel the magic within the release of the emotion,
Yes.
or within the body healing. I still feel it as as a worthwhile experience. There's things that I would like to not keep experiencing, but yeah, and I think there has been less of that now. But I also know that we're always going to be experiencing a new layer and something, an expansion. So yeah, I just, so I want to, how is it I feel I'm meant to work with groups, and there's these things like, what do you really want to do though? And these are the questions. I guess it was just, I'm just doing this reviewing thing that you often find, because you talk to me only every few months or something.
Yes.
Back in the space of going, okay, well, what am I really drawn to do though? I am so fickle as a like I am, and I wish, some people just like have laser focus and know, and this is my passion and this is what I want. And I know that I'm here and then I'm doing something, and I keep trusting for it to like present more or something to me, the unfolding, and maybe it still will, but it's like that. Yeah, I still struggle with that. I think I have that sense and feeling of things that are possible or happening. That it's more getting me to I struggle with that, making a decision in the now moment, because I feel like nothing quite fits yet. That big puzzle piece. And I know that it would be helpful. So then I allow whatever comes into my circle to present itself, and I make a conscious choice. Is this something I want to work with or not? It's kind of how I'm playing it now, but I don't.
It's the passion. It's the passion what makes difference. Yes.
Yes. But so I am passionate about my spiritual, my energetic expression, and I feel lit up when I am in the space of sharing in 0 point at the light language, and assisting, with others. So there's that.
Would you care to share with us and with our great audience, yes, light language?
Sure. Let's see. First I want to say it's felt good. I didn't expect to talk through all of this today, but it's really felt like doesn't even feel like I have ever had any resistance to doing so. And yet, we both know that we did, or I did. And that feels weird to me. It's like, oh, it just feels like I was always going to talk about this.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but okay, so I'm focusing in through my heart. I just like to set intention that you'll hear sounds, words, just try to listen from the heart and not interpret through the mind what it means. Everything's for the highest good of all. And may each individual that receive for their greatest good. I'm hearing the words peace and divinity. I think anchoring in our true essence. We'll go for that. Okay. Alashanaya, Bokotodaya, Leante Kotodoya da Goliada. Aladadanya, Tokotena Kolodoyana, Shayadade. Hale kada doya na yada bone. Shalele kalayana kodo. Nisi pakadaya. Holiana heliana holiana gare. Layana na koleona kasharba. Hasanaya na yana kolorone kalayane. Haledene moshamaniaha. Aliana moshamani. Celiana focolione he. Liare beone baliane. Celiane holiane he. Celiare bocosomo. Makataya na lea. Liana ka liana hayana hayanaya naya ha. Pulashoni hai. Polani hai. Kaladani hai. Sejayani liana korodoni kashamoni paliane hiliana ha. Laza fonte. Reason because of Bokononi Kashini Kaliana. Nashanina Kaliana he. Dodoroyanai. Lanayana. Liana ha kalia. Helping release. Sayakaliana Kaeda Kaliante. A little bit of clearing. Kasanyani. I was hearing messages of speaking our truth. And through doing so we rise. Bokosomanya Badane. Bokoshoya. But that truth is the truth of our own essence. Our self-expression. It is not forced. It is not pressure. We do so through love. Love of ourselves. Love for the other mirrored as one. Patience. Patience, patience. Kosadadane, kododna kriade, nasanyane. It's a bit of an attunement here. Kododna kadiande, totosinena, nasanyanya, hanyania, pokodoja dicte naka kadiate. Let's do some grounding. Kasamanyane, no sotoya, nakataya. Integrating kolaraya nakaliante kasade. Nashanoya nayana, koryo. And hold this field for yourself, this field of frequency, the open expansion of the heart, caring for yourself as you care for others. Pukosabante, pukotone, pagare, pukotone, pukotore, pagadaya. Haleane he, koliante he, sepoto. Big breath in. Release. You are loved beyond measure. You are loved, you are loved, you are loved. Pisabane bodo, bolodonega, kilianihi, shaya. And so thanks and gratitude. Kosanaya de da da dayana, ashatea, poko. Thank you, Alexander. I felt that one. I'm so glad we did this today. Thank you. Cool.
In a moment of coherence, in a moment of flow, when we are all in the quantum light, we are no further from for ourselves. We live in the essence of love. We live in the essence of abundance. We are ourselves. Even if you seek the answers outside, if you even if disagreement coming to your mind, there's nothing below which you cannot. Nothing below which you cannot. A fragment of a soul is yourself traveling through worlds. Acceptance, understanding, lovingness, compassion, joy, happiness, courage to be yourself. I encourage you to be yourself. I encourage you to be who you are. Traveling beyond the concept of the mind. Traveling back the concept of the heart. You are within. You are holiness. You are yourself. You are who you pursue, project for yourself. Abundance. It's the June energy. Abundance. Human being. I am Arcturianous. Here on earth. In the body, with the body, in the mind, of the heart. I'm here with you, understanding why, what for. The ascension is on earth. I am one with all it is. I am one with light. I am one in separation of the heart, in separation of the mind. Duality below, duality. We wish to pursue something. You wish to go beyond your mind. And that's the world. You cannot be someone else but you. You know the leveling up is loving yourself. The magnitude of the heart is loving yourself. Through the love, you are awakening yourself to the glory of God, the glory of light. Anything is possible, beloved human. Anything is love given for you, for you. And you wonder why. Okay. Disbelief. Disbelief. Be precise in your teachings. Be precise in your willingness to move whatever you want to move from your seeing, viewing, manifestation. You are focusing on the manifestation, it's not the focus. You are focusing on the past, it's not the focus. You are focusing on yourself, it's not the focus. You are focusing to ignore the present moment. How can I communicate with you if you are in the back seat? How can I communicate with you if you are in front, below, or everywhere else, not in yourself? How can I communicate with you? How can I communicate? Dear Master of your life, there is a paradigm. Yes, beloved, there is a paradigm. It's called unconditional love. You're saying, I want to tap into the energy of manifestation. I want to tap into the energy of abundance. I want to tap into the energy of Arcturian, Pleiadian, Syrians, Cassiopeians, Pleiadians. You are the source. Of your universe. Who are you talking with is you. Who are you communicate with it is the energy. I see you. You said to me, I see you. And I touch your forehead. I touch my heart, my mind. The healing. Uncertainty. Uncertain of the future. Take a breath in. I am Arcturianous in this body. I am grateful to be connected with you now. Pure heart, pure mind, pure light. You are. Whoever is listening now, you are precious. Light being on earth. You who listen now, you are precious light being on earth. It's a challenge to be yourself. It's a challenge to be yourself. If you want to manifest yourself in the present moment. The best outcome is love. Always. You see, that's the happiness, success, creation, manifestation, which you are seeking. In present moment, everything is happening. In present moment, we communicate with you. In present moment, you are creating the love for yourself. The empty space we are creating together. And you see synchronicities in your life. When you empty your desire of being better than, and you are empty the desire of achieving better than others. If you are empty the desire, I have to, must achieve the goal in front of me. You are empty the way of receiving for yourself. The mind is consciousness. The thought is pure receptor, a projector in consciousness of the light being on earth. If you think that I am speaking with you, you are right. If you think that I am ignoring you, you are right. And that's the talk from yourself. Whatever is happening, think about it. Who is projecting the outcome? Who is projecting? Not you. Not yourself. Who you see every morning in the mirror? Is it your spouse, your child, your partner? Is it Arcturian? Asking questions brings answers. If we are talking about restriction, I think I've done it.
Yeah. Amazing. Yes, present moment. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Arcturianous. No,
I can't recognize myself. I really can't recognize myself. I mean, my channeling has changed, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm very grateful for Maureen for this allowance, and I'm very grateful for everyone who is listening now. I'm very grateful.
It was wonderful for me to
Love,
share
for love.
too. Thank you for this like sacred space for us.
It is a sacred space. I was looking for the title, and I found it, the sacred space.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yes, and you, all of you, beloved, who are with us right now, quantum now is happening right now. So when you are listening to this recording, love, the abundance, as Arcturianous says, right?
Mhm.
It's in the mind.
Be you.
Be you. We are creating a new space.
Yeah.
How? I don't know. All I know is love. I'm very grateful, Maureen.
Me
I'm
too.
very, very, very grateful for the passage, the channeling, the healing, the upgrades, for your presence, Mother's presence. I'm very grateful for Mother's presence and magnificent heart opening, chakra opening message for all of us. I'm very, very grateful for. Beloved Maureen, may I ask you 4 questions, which I asked on the show? May I ask you? Yes.
Sure.
Thank you. So, what's the meaning of life for you? What's the meaning of life?
That feels like a big question, but yet it's simple, I guess. Is to understand, not even understand, know the oneness, to learn your unique expression is a gift, and that you, how you connect with others and share in love and release, like my mother always says, like, teach love, not fear. Feel that the essence of life is within that, and that if your actions come from love, then it's through those, the life is about those connections that we have, whether it be with an animal, with nature, with a loved one, with someone we don't love so much. We grow and learn, and it's in that, it's about the expansion back to all that we are, and the journey of knowing that, so that we are no longer in separation.
Mm.
But I do think our human minds often put parameters of, we need to have these struggles or these challenges to move forward and do and feel big or small or whatever. And I think it's truly about simply being in joy and feeling that there is the word, like the words, there's joy even within the grief. Like, lately I've been really also appreciating the senses more,
Mhm.
and how in spirit we may not have the sense of smell, those beautiful floral fragrance through the air, the bright, bright colors, may or may not be the, but it's bringing everything back to the more simple experience. So
Mm.
it's that connection with all, I guess. Yeah.
Thank
And remembering all that we have been and are.
you. What is God for you?
What is
What?
God?
Yeah, for you.
I feel God is the perfect balance of masculine, feminine frequencies, and an all encompassing, I call it life essence, that everything in all universes hold and have at the heart of love, that God is love, and that frequency is love. Mm, all things are possible, and everything is learned. It's like I'm feeling the energy of uh, Source experiences itself through us, and so Source is us. Source is, I'm the great at the, yeah, that all presence that is not in any way judging. It's an unconditional love of how we choose to experience and create. It's hard for me to explain.
So the next question. I care ... Please fill the gap.
Let's see what comes through here today. I care that each individual person knows themselves as source. I care that each person loves themselves. I care that I love my own self in the ways that there are no barriers to that love. I care that we release all that lack within us, what we hold, and reteach ourselves that there's nothing that is not possible through love.
And the last question, where people can find more about your work?
Well, right now, I can be reached at lightlanguagelife@gmail.com or through Messenger at lightlanguagelife. It's my private Facebook group, or Maureen Moore on Facebook. I've been doing this, trying to decide if I'm going to have a website. Right now it's not up and going, but if they leave, I'll go back to that. It's lightlanguagelife.com when I get that going. So right now it's easiest just to message me and we can discuss, whether it's a light language personal recording or photographic imagery, or we have a quantum session or work within the, our as a unified field and work at releasing root causes, and healing comes through. Those are all possibilities, and so feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm really feeling
There is
a
no
lot.
words. I mean, there is no words except unconditional love. That's how I feel at the moment. Yes, we both went through the channeling, so we are a little bit out of this world. But be yourself, be you. Yes, be. A team for
And bring it back
now.
to you. Bring it
For
back to
now,
you.
for now. No restriction, no restrictions. Maureen, I'm very, very grateful. I am full of hope that your benevolent light will shine bright in many our episodes. Yes, I care.
Yes.
I'm very grateful for your presence, for your wisdom, for your expressing the true essence of yourself. I know from my experience as well, it's not easy to talk in public about private circumstances, let's say, right? Being channeler or being light language channeler or being walk-in, it's not which we talk lightly about. Yes?
Right.
And there is no judgment wrong or right or right, right? But this moment gave me opportunity to speak up, yes,
Me as
and
well.
also brought healing for me, yes, from the future as Marta, the collective channeler, which we went through in this session as well, yes,
Yeah.
and release this memory, yes, and this was the healing all about, release the memory Yes, not experience, but release the memory of it into the air. Yes. So I'm very grateful for your assistance, with the greatest joy to all of us. Do you have a final message, or would you like to share something with our viewers?
Well, message to envision what it is we want to experience. Just a reminder of that, not focus on what we do not, and give our energy to that. And just that I'm so grateful for this, I really feel it as a sacred space, a safe space, and for all those that listen and receive, I appreciate you listening, and I just feel deep gratitude. So thank you, Alexandra.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and till the next time.
Yes.
See you soon. Thank you.